Hey, what's up guys, Matt here. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Norwegian 787-9 Dreamliner in the UNICEF livery by JC Wings in a 1 to 200 scale. Please check the description in case you missed anything throughout this video. All of my social media links will be down there. I pre-ordered this from easytoys.com, their link will also be down in the description. This is my 35th 787 model and it's my first Norwegian model. Some information about Norwegian. Norwegian or Norwegian Air Shuttle operate as a standalone airline and as the parent company of subsidiaries Norwegian Air Norway and Norwegian Air Sweden. Their operations base is out of the Diamanten building in Fornebu, Norway. I'm hoping I pronounced that correctly. Main hubs are Bergen-Flesland, Oslo Gardermoen and Stavanger. They're founded on the 22nd of January 1993 and their fleet as of the 5th of March 2022 consists of 62 aircraft, including all their subsidiaries. They used to operate 37 787s, 8 of which were 787-8s operated by Norwegian Long Haul, 29 787-9s split between Norwegian Air UK, Norwegian Long Haul and Norwegian Air Sweden. Their entire 787 fleet has either been sold or returned to their lessor as part of restructuring by moving all attention from their former international network to focus entirely on their updated European network. They serve 51 destinations, and this aircraft's first flight was on the 28th of August 2017, and it was delivered to Norwegian Air UK, specifically, which is one of their former subsidiaries, on the 12th of September 2017. This aircraft was later transferred to the Norwegian Long Haul fleet on the 10th of September 2018, again a former subsidiary, with the registration LNLNT. It was returned to Lesser AirCap on the 17th of December 2020 and currently under lease by NEOS since the 16th of February 2021. The Boeing customer code for Norwegian is JP. Okay, so let's take a look around the box here. Right, so we have at the top of the box 787-9 and also Dreamliner logos, Norwegian and the Boeing license and 1 to 200 scale at the bottom. On the back of the box we have some facts about this particular aircraft. So some depictions of the actual aircraft itself. You can see the dimensions in meters. Some specifications. Typical warnings that you would find, and also the JC Wings logo. On the top of the box. So this was the other release. So this is in one of their more standard liveries where you have one well-known Nordic person. And on the bottom of the box is a depiction of this model in particular. As you can see, there's a tick next to the registration number, and this is the UNICEF livery. And then we have the model, the stand, and gears and gear doors. Alright guys, so the model is now out of the box and we're going to go start at the cockpit windows on the port side. Right, so we have the cockpit windows, window wipers, pitot tube static ports, the registration on the gear door, KLZ. It's kind of smudged on the L, but it's not really that big of a deal. Although it would look better if it was properly done. The Norwegian titles. And here we have the writing on the fuselage that displays the support for UNICEF. There's also it's also on the tail. I'll get to that a bit later. But UNICEF, if you didn't already know, it stands for the United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund, and was applied as a livery to promote Norwegian support for the organisation since the partnership began in 2014. So as it reads, you can see for every child, a childhood, Norwegian proudly supports UNICEF. And now I'm not sure if that's on the if on the actual aircraft there is meant to be a space between the comma and the A. It should be. If this is a I guess you'll call it a defect of the model. If it is that, if that is the case, then that's two kind of things JC Wings have slipped up on here. Hopefully they haven't slipped up on that, because it would be a shame for the L on the nose gear door to be smudged, and also the spacing to be incorrect. There's the inboard landing light, as you can see, is a realistic looking one, where there's sort of like a clear cover over the front. It's a unique feature built into the 787 in this particular 787 mold. It's always good to see. I wish they would introduce it more. And then the engine. This is the Rolls-Royce Trent 1000 engine. Lots of markings, highly detailed, as you can see with the cowling doors on the nacelle, and also the chevron teeth you can see at the rear of the nacelle, which help to reduce a lot of the noise pollution by blending the cooler bypass air with the hotter exhaust air more efficiently. Now we'll take a look inside the engine. Those fan blades are very nicely shaped, and the fan blades do spin. They look very good, I will admit. It's always good to see the fan blades on these 787s. There's the, it escapes me now what it's called, just the inboard like air deflector. Yeah, I usually remember that name, it just slipped my mind. Anyway, we'll take a look here briefly on the nose gear. The wheels, they're slightly, not a lot, could they just, so they're sort of more free to move on an angle rather than they were actually, sitting in that angle. The gears on this model I find aren't entirely up to scratch as you would normally see on the 787 model, mold, I should say. But there's markings for the taxi and landing lights. And on the inboard of the wings, also that landing light again. Now the name has come to me. The engine strake. That's what these, I guess, air deflectors are called. Engine strake. I don't know why it slipped my mind. Fan blades on this engine do spin also. That is good to see. And now we come to the wingtip, where we have the red navigation light, and you can see the curved flexed wingtip. Looks very, very nice from this angle. And back onto the fuselage, we have the Norwegian logo, Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner logo. the registration number, if I can get the light angle correct. So registration number is G-CKLZ, or Golf Charlie Kilo Lima Zulu. And then, as you can see on the tail, we also have the UNICEF livery extending to there as well. Now let's take a look at the APU exhaust. Pretty standard, although this one does seem to be on a little bit of an angle. As you can see, it's not quite square, but also on either side, those raised portions that stick out, they are the strobe lights. And now back onto the front of the aircraft, this time on the starboard side. We have the pitot tube static ports, a registration, part of the registration I should say, on the gear door. This side looks very clean. The Norwegian logo, front cargo container door. Again, the UNICEF writing. And the Trent 1000 engine, the Rolls-Royce logo on this side as well. And we're going to come along to the wing tip, where we have the green navigation light on this side. And back onto the fuselage, we have the rear cargo container door, Dreamliner logo, 787-9, Norwegian logo, registration number, and then the tail. Okay, so we'll now take a look underneath the aircraft. Alright, so we have the nose gear and gear door, markings for antennas and vents. These vents in particular, sorry, these aren't not vents, these are intakes, the NACA ducts, anti-collision beacon, Norwegian logo. Also the hole for the stand there, between the A and the N, that's yeah, it does sort of take away from the aesthetic, but then again you're not sort of really seeing the bottom, so that Norwegian logo is not really going to make a difference. Main gears, gear doors, flaps, slats, ailerons. This little piece sticking out right here, that's the fuel dump valve. That detail underneath the engine. I love the engine upgrades on these molds in recent years. With it's spreading across to all molds with the amount of detail they're putting on the engines, and it's always a very good thing to see, because those engines, when you do see them in person, they do have a lot of markings and doors on them and insignia, so it's always nice to see that. It's an antenna, and then horizontal stabilizers and the APU exhaust. Right, so now taking a look on top of the aircraft. Looks like the emergency escape hatch for the pilots, antennas, cut here an emergency tab, an antenna, This is, I expect to be the Wi-Fi box. Again, emergency tab. And more antennas. On top of the wings, no step markings, flaps, slats, ailerons and spoilers. And the same on this side. There we have the SATCOM. 2 more antennas, and on the horizontal stabilizers we have, you can see a grey dot on each one just in front of the elevators, and they are the logo lights that light up the tail at night time. Alright, so now it's time to take a look at the seating configuration, or I should say former seating configuration for this aircraft, as it is of course no longer in service with the Norwegian family. So version 1, which this aircraft in particular had, and this was operated, this configuration was operated both by Norwegian Air Sweden and Norwegian Long Haul. So there is premium economy, 35 recliner seats, rows 1 to 5, 1 to 5, and that is from the first door to about this break in between the windows, and then from here to the back of the aircraft is entirely economy, 309 seats, rows 6 to 42, for a total of 344 seats. And version 2, which was operated by Norwegian Air UK. There is premium economy of 56 recliner seats, rows 1 to 8, and that is from the first door to the second door. And from the second door to the rear, the aircraft was entirely economy. 282 seats, rows 9 to 42, for a total of 338 seats. Quite dense for 787-9. But then again, Norwegian is a low-cost carrier, and that is in some ways to be expected. Right, so now we'll I'll show you through the some of the wheel features. So landing gear does roll. Initially they were quite, sticky, so they take a bit of initial rolling to get going. There is tilt. Nose gear does swivel, so you can have it in its turning position if you wish. And onto the stand. So JC Wings they make use of Gemini Jets' stand. Instead of the brown wood-looking finish on the metal base, they change it up to sort of match the livery of the airline or the particular aircraft. So as you can see, a white metal base with the Norwegian logo, Boeing 787-9 scale 1 to 200. That's in addition to the coloured bases that they add this, whereas Gemini Jets do not. That's where the stand piece screws into that holds the model, and you can see padding on top of the stand so you don't scratch the model underneath. There we go, it sits very nicely on the stand. Now the gears are removable because they are magnetic. They can easily put back in place should you need to configure this model in this position. put them in the main gears in their resting position, as it looks like it's preparing to touch down. And when you do one in the in-flight position on the stand, there are gear doors here to use if you wish. There we go. There's also toothpick-like items that are able to easily remove the doors. Alright guys, so I really hope you have enjoyed this video. Please leave a like if you did. Comment, tell me what you think of this model, tell me if you're going to get it. I think it's really, really nice. Tons of detail. And like I mentioned several times, those engines always look really, really good. Subscribe for more. Plenty of plane spotting videos, of course. Trying to do more model reviews when I can, and share this video as well so other people can know about this model and see if they want to get it too. Anyway guys, I do hope you have enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.